It's gonna be a slumber party, Evil Dead chick style. Grab some pizza and your nighty nightmares sleep sure. Don't forget the butcher knife. Lock your door, turn out the lights, and prepare to
I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel.
Hi, I am Evil Dead Chick.
Hi, I am Poe.
Hi, I am Vincent the Ghoul.
We are the Deadites on Dead Crew. Come join us on the channel and the horror shop. Evil Dead Chick and a pal Poe. Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. And Vincent the Ghoul. We love horror and heavy metal. We love to entertain and inform. And best of all, we love to have fun. We are the Deadites on Dead Crew. Oh, oh, we are the Deadites on Dead Crew. Oh, oh, stop by and see us today.
Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man.
They're all messed up.
Howdy, gang. Hey, kids. Davey, the poet, Tom. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. It sounds like y'all, or looks like y'all were having good conversation while I was away. Oh, and Hope, if you're still in here, I wanted to say hey to you as well. I'm also glad to see that some of you guys and gals are planning on joining me for this Saturday's Watch Along Valentine's night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for My Bloody Valentine. And I've also got the slumber party, Be My Deadly Valentine slumber party coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Schizoid. So if y'all are in the mood to, watch a couple of movies Friday and Saturday, I would love to have you. And I would first of all like to say I am so sorry for being late, folks. I had an appointment earlier today and it got me behind on finishing up the movies for tonight. So I wanted to make sure I finished both of the movies before I got on here and talked about them. Oh, that's okay, Davy. You know, late's better than never. You know, I always say if you got to be late, look, hey, I was late to this stream, and you guys waited around and were very patient and waited for me to come on here. Kitschy say it's okay. We're talking about how after Evil Dead Burn, they have another one, Wrath, coming out. Well, that should be interesting. I mean, I'm willing to be open minded about them. You know, I actually liked Evil Dead Rise, and a lot of people hated that one. But, anyways, I'm here now, and I'm not gonna, you know, go through a bunch of housekeeping stuff because I'm already late. So hopefully y'all saw the little bumpers before I came on here that, you know, kind of hopes that you'll subscribe if you haven't subscribed and all that good stuff. And the new promo for the Deadites on Deck crew with me and all my little characters I've got. Yeah, I'm like that too, kids. You say I think it'll be okay because Sam Raimi still owns it all. So let's just dive right in to these movies, folks, and get to the kills in them. Because, like I said, y'all been very patient, and I was about 15 minutes late coming on here. So the first one I want to talk about tonight is House on Straw Hill. Yeah, I do have a copy of this. This is Steve's copy of the movie. And first of all, I'd like to say, folks, I wasn't too impressed with House on Straw Hill. I don't think I've seen it. I thought maybe I may have watched it with Steve at one time. But yeah, I like Udo Kier. You know, I liked him in things like Mark of the Devil and stuff. And I think he's got nice eyes. I notice eyes on guys, you know, but mostly before I notice anything else. See, I didn't like Drag Me to Hell, the poet. You know, I hated to say that because as much as I love Sam Raimi, but, you know, as much as I love Pete Walker, there are some of them that are a little slower than others for me. Oh, thanks, Davey. You said the last drive-in. Yes, I knew you were cool. Oh, yes, I love Joe Bob Briggs. I'm not as far of a fan back as far as drive-in theater because I didn't know about Joe Bob. But back in the Monster Vision days, that's where I discovered Joe Bob. So I'm a fan from that far back of Joe Bob. And I love Darcy too. But I don't know how many of y'all have seen House on Straw Hill. I'm not going to give away all the there was a twist in it. But this also has Linda Hayden and Fiona Richmond on it. And it basically concerns a writer who sends his wife away. His wife is played by Fiona Richmond, or girlfriend, I should say, played by Fiona Richmond in this movie. And first of all, I like to say Fiona Richmond's not a good actress. The first sex scene, you know, it was the most ridiculous looking sex scene I've ever seen. Some of you guys might enjoy it, and that's okay. And, you know, I know this is beside the point, but I think she had fake boobs. Maybe not, but it appeared to be. So, kids, if you've seen House on Straw Hill, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But so we've got Udo Kier, you know, staying at this house called the House on Straw Hill. There's a sign that says House on Straw Hill or Straw Hill or whatever. And he's staying there with his girlfriend. He's writing his new book. And he keeps having, you know, nightmares of something, either I guess that's going to happen or has happened or a combination thereof. And Um, every time he gets ready to have sex with his girlfriend, he has to put latex gloves on, like what a doctor would put on before they examine somebody, or a dentist would have on before they put their fingers in their mouth. And I didn't really understand that either. But so he sends his wife away, or I keep saying wife, his girlfriend away, and has this an assistant come, Linda, who is played by Linda Hayden in the movie, who apparently likes to masturbate a lot, because there's several scenes of her doing that. And, you know, I don't really understand why this was on the video nasties list, because even the sex wasn't that explicit in the movie. So, and it definitely didn't have a lot of gratuitous violence in it either. So I don't know, but we all know that video nasties was a big, you know, um, debacle. And you know, a lot of the times the people that were saying, oh, we're going to put this on the video nasties list, the BBFC censored list, and I can't remember which list this was on. I don't know if it was the one where they prosecuted people for selling it or renting it, or it was on the list of where they never got prosecuted. Um, See, maybe I need to revisit Drag Me to Hell, because, you know, y'all seem to be like you enjoyed it. Maybe I need to give it another try. Davey, you say Udo Kier makes everything great, but this movie wasn't good. Davey, you agree with me then. I don't remember too much about it, so I must not have cared for it much. And it says it's one of the most controversial and unsavory British horror films of the 1970s. You know, literally, I don't see it. So this was directed by James Killam Clark. So let's talk about the kills in this, and then we'll get to Haunts here from 1976. This one was also from 1976. Both of these movies are as old as I am, because that was the year I was born. So we got two men shot, a woman's throat slit, a woman slashed to death with a knife, a woman stabbed in the back, and that's about all she wrote. We got 5 total deaths in this movie. Yeah, not much else to speak of. I mean, I don't know if this is available anywhere else to watch for free, but I should have, but I didn't really look. But I can look now because I found Steve's copy to watch. But I'll do y'all a solid in case there's some of you that want to. Oh, come on. I can't type tonight either, folks. I'm also kind of curious what kind of rating this got on IMDb. It's also under the title Trauma. So you can watch it on Tubi, folks, if you want to, you know, try it out. 5.4 rating on IMDb. It was also known under the title Expose. Yeah, but I just was not impressed. Okay, so a little trivia about this film and the Video Nasties list. This was the only British made film to appear on the original DPP 72 list of Video Nasties, and even made the final 39, folks, which just blows my mind. Just really, really blows my mind. And it's the only film that Linda Hayden has publicly said she regrets making because they added scenes that changed it to a different film. And the version that I watched was the uncut and uncensored version. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give it a rating, the poet. And the poet is right. I'm going to give it a low rating because I just was not impressed with this in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to give it 2 deadites out of 5. Just to stick a rating in there. So moving on to the next one is one that I don't even think I had ever heard of before, called Haunts from 1976. And yes, it has Cameron Mitchell. I think Cameron Mitchell was probably just trying to get a paycheck. Tommy said actor Udo Kier was a strange bird. He was Andy Warhol's muse, was friends with Bowie and Iggy Pop. They were wild times. Yeah, and I mean, dare I say it, Udo Kier was easy on the eyes. To me, he was. And he had nice eyes. Tommy saw a great doc on Warhol. You never seen Haunts, Davey? Well, Haunts is okay. It's a really low budget. I ended up watching it on the Fossil Map, so you can watch it for free on the Fossil Map. Not a real good print, but maybe there's not a good print that exists of this film, possibly. So you basically you have what's only referred to as the scissor killer in this movie, and there's a young girl named Ingrid who keeps having flashbacks of when she was a little girl, and it seems that her mother had an affair with somebody after her father's funeral, and then she apparently was carted off to the orphanage after her mother commits suicide. So fast forward to she's supposedly living on the farm with her uncle Carl, played by Cameron Mitchell. And she keeps telling the sheriff, you know, I was attacked, I was assaulted. You know, she says that multiple times in the film. And apparently it turns out that she is delusional. And she thought she was being attacked by these men in town. And after finding a dead woman that was evidently killed by the scissor killer, she just completely, all this stuff, all the memories of seeing her mother having an affair, her seeing her mother after her mother committed suicide just drives her over the edge. Now, it never says that she's the scissor killer, just that she was messed up in the head and was making up stories about, one, her uncle living with her, because her uncle wasn't even with her. She was alone in the house. And they tell her uncle she died a virgin, so she was not assaulted. But she told the sheriff she was assaulted. Hey, Gory Tiger. Tom, you say you saw it on YouTube. Good movie, and Cameron Mitchell was in so many movies. This was, to me, this was a lot better film than House on Straw Hill. I mean, as far as having a story that I could follow. It wasn't extremely bloody, but I believe we had the same number of kills, but I just liked the story better than I did with House on Straw Hill, and it wasn't ridiculous like House on Straw Hill was. I just think House on Straw Hill was overdone and just boring for most of it. I didn't find Haunts boring. Haunts, again, it came out in 1976, directed by Herb Fried. So we've got 5 deaths, like I said, in this. We've got a woman stabbed to death and her arm is cut off. Woman slashed and stabbed to death with scissors. A man shot, man stabbed in the back, and a woman commits suicide by slitting wrists. So I hope that doesn't get me in trouble saying the S word on YouTube. But I wanted to fully explain the movie. So this was a decent movie. I would say you could try, watching it on YouTube like Tom did. How was the print, Tom, on YouTube? Because it was a pretty rough print on the fossil map. So I didn't know if the one on YouTube was any better or not. And Cameron Mitchell was in a lot of movies, and I like Cameron Mitchell in a fair amount of them. In fact, I'll more than likely be talking about Toolbox Murders, which he was in as well here before long. It was a good print. So, guys and gals, you might want to try watching the print off of YouTube if you want to give Haunts a try. I was glad I watched it. I enjoyed the gritty, moody atmosphere of Haunts. And, the kills that were in it, even though they weren't excessively bloody, just kind of added to it. Oh, Tourist Trap. Yeah, I love Tourist Trap as well. That's another good one. But I'm going to go ahead and give Haunts a 4 Deadites out of 5. A lot better than House on Straw Hill, folks, in my opinion. Yeah, the poet, I agree that Tourist Trap is a good movie, and very bizarre and creepy movie as well. So, gang, I'm sorry for being late to the game. Unfortunately, well, I mean, it was an important and good appointment, but unfortunately, it got me a little behind again on watching both of these movies. But I'm glad that you guys and gals were patient and waited for me to come on here. Davey, you say you love Tourist Trap. Director's Cut is on Tubi, I think. So there, if you want to catch the director's cut on Tubi, I'd head on over to Tubi and give it a try there. But I guess that is it for me for tonight. But be sure, if you can, to tune in both Friday for the Be My Deadly Valentine's Slumber Party, and also Saturday, Valentine's Day night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be the My Bloody Valentine watch along. I'm going to have my moose head ready. I usually drink moose head one time a year, and that's usually around the time of Valentine's Day in honor of the great Canadian slasher classic, My Bloody Valentine. Kids, you say, Tourist Trap is great. Sorry I had to feed the shoulder goblin. That's okay. And Tom, you say, yes, it's great because it's bizarre. Yes. Thank you, kids. I appreciate it. You say you'll be here for Friday and Saturday. Oh, and because of Chuck Connors. Yeah, definitely. Harry Warden will return. And y'all be on the lookout. I don't know when exactly this is going to drop. I'm going to try to get it up because it'll be a pre-recorded video for this Sunday after Valentine's Day for Jason's My Bloody Valentine cookies. So if y'all are in the mood for cookies with icing on them, be on the lookout for that movie Munchies that I'm planning on doing here. It's going to be a kind of mashup between Valentine's Day and Friday the 13th, because we got Friday the 13th tomorrow. We got we got Valentine's Day on Saturday. So I'm going to get on out of here for the night. Oh, and before I go, I forgot to bring up the poster for Haunts there. Not real exciting, but I did want to show y'all that, and I forgot to show y'all that earlier. But I'm going to get on out of here for now. You enjoy your night too, kids. But I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. And also, I'm off like a dirty shirt. The shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And you guys and gals have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Some people think Friday the 13th is bad luck. No, it gives me an excuse as if I needed one to watch some Friday the 13th movies. So I will see many of you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Schizoid. And I'll see everybody next time.